Hello, listeners. Welcome back to our podcast, Journeys to Creating Your Own Destiny. Today, I'm excited to have Lesedi Mogoatlhe. She will tell you who she is and what she does. But I will tell you, and as you know, every time I start the podcast, I always say I'm excited. Well, I'm excited because what's different about Lesedi? First of all, that she's my sister. Yes, she's my mom and his daughter. For those of you in other countries, she's my cousin, right? And so it's just, great to have family who has inspired me. I don't know if she knows, in terms of she's just one person who's just chosen her own path. And coming from the family that we come from, to take a path that is not prescribed or maybe not seen as appropriate or doesn't follow the rule and success book that we were kind of brought up in, has not been an easy journey, especially for a family that's quite close. Yeah. So you're around them all the time. So for those of you who've also been listening to this, you know that this podcast is inspired by my current favorite quote, which is, the best way to predict your future is to create it. So it's by Abraham Lincoln. Some people say it's by Peter Drucker. It doesn't matter. The fact is that it rocks. It rocks. And so if you're listening to this, I'm hoping that you're in the mindset of wanting to create your own fabulous future. And Lesedi.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good. Thank you for having me. And you also inspire me. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. It's cool to be able to share. Yes. Because in so many ways I feel like my path is very similar to yours.
Yeah.
So maybe you recognize me because I recognize you, because we somehow in the same kind of tribe in the way of our thinking and the way of being in this world.
So Lesedi, just tell us who you are.
I like to say I'm a secret agent. I get called in to do missions. I never know what the missions are going to be. I have been gifted by God, the universe, with a select set of tools and skills, mostly creative. So I write at certain times, and other times I'm a really great researcher. I've been a filmmaker. I've been a documentary maker, which is a filmmaker, but just, I've done fiction, I've done documentary. But overall, I think the essence of it all is that I am a storyteller. And I don't only tell stories, I like to collect stories and let stories tell their own stories, that kind of thing. So, on a business card, I could be a media consultant. Yes. I could be a creative strategist, creative producer, content producer, that sort of thing.
So it's interesting because we've just actually been talking for 2 hours, listeners, when we were supposed to be recording this podcast and having the deepest conversation. But as you know, in my podcast, I always bring in the business angle because that's the space that I love and kind of live in. But also, I'm also about creating and kind of creating your own opportunities. So Lesedi said something earlier. We were talking about an entrepreneur incubator that she was part of, that I kind of told her to apply it on, and it was a very enlightening experience for her. But what was fascinating is that you said something to me now that you struggle with the word entrepreneur because it kind of boxes a person into something, right? That's almost predetermined.
Sure.
Whereas in a sense, your life has been entrepreneurial. Even though you've been creative, you've never really been employed full time, and you have had the stints. But the work that you do, you're almost like an independent contractor or a freelancer or consultant. Yeah. So tell us a bit about that and that life of choosing to not necessarily work full time for somebody, but to be a freelancer, consultant, independent contractor.
Yeah, the longest I've ever worked in an employment job, a 9 to 5, was 3 years, and I'm 35 now.
Yes.
That's like my whole life.
Yes.
That's about as far as I've lasted. And of course, it's quite normal for somebody like me to end up in a situation like this, let's say being in the TV or film industry. So many people are, actors or whatever. But you don't realize that your life is kind of run by you, or entrepreneurial in a sense, because when you're in that kind of job, you have an agent.
Yes.
So someone's running your business for you in a way. So now, once I went out of acting and voice work, then I started working as a film director, film, TV, and I didn't have an agent. So I'm running my own thing.
Yes.